want to get started with something that I like to call a duh. It's been a great idea this entire time. This is picking up steam now. I think people are sort of aware that Adam Silver has talked a little bit about the All-Star game. Of course, that is this weekend. Always wanting to tweak it, make it better, make it more interesting. He mentioned that USA versus the world is on the table. Just take a second to understand that we've been saying that for a long time. Chandler, would that do anything? Would that float your boat, as the kids like to say?
I don't think the kids say that anymore.
My bad. My bad.
The kids
yeah, you know what? I really like this. And I think All-Star Weekend, All-Star Game, dunk contest, everything has gotten pretty stagnant and pretty dreadful. So I am open to any ideas. And I think when you look at this format, European guys, especially Wemby, Jokic, they're on record saying that it would mean more to them to win a gold Olympic medal than an NBA championship. They have so much pride for their country. They go back there every off season. So I think when you put this game together, this is how you can get everybody to play hard. You know, Americans are going to want to be the top dog. We've always been the best basketball country in the world. Europe and other countries, they're starting to catch up to us, right? They have a lot of talented guys, and I think a lot of guys that are in the NBA, they probably have 3-4 of the top 5-6 NBA players currently. So I think this would be a perfect way to kind of get everybody to compete, kind of have more pride, more kind of, respect moving forward. This year, you know what? The world's won. Next year, America won. So I think this is great. And I think this is the perfect way to get like an in-season competitive game.
In theory, it's a great idea. In theory. And what Chandler just said about pride, right? Like, yeah, I get that part. A lot of these guys show pride, especially in the Olympics, all of those things. But when you got a Canadian and a guy from Slovenia and you got a guy from Greece, they don't really care, right? Usually that pride comes from them sharing the court with former teammates or guys that they grew up with, guys that they know what they've gone through to try to be professionals in the NBA but fell short, but still qualify to be on that Olympic team and go hand in hand with you and go to compete shoulder and shoulder. Those guys won't be present. Like, you're still going to be competing with other NBA players that doesn't necessarily represent that pride that you represent, for your country and for your heritage. On the American side, like, who's gonna show pride in that? Like, it's still gonna be a job to these guys. So on paper, in theory, I love the idea. I think we got a lot of details to work out to the point where this can make sense. Like, if you're going to play some games overseas, where are you going to play these games overseas? Like, whose country are you going to pick? Somebody's going to feel slighted. And then we're going to have
alternate
the conversation. Yeah, then we're going to have the conversation, well, what about my country? Or then, well, when are we going to do it in America again? And there's going to be a lot of those things. But just the idea alone, that's something that I would get excited about. That would be a game that I would love to see.
And you know what? You like even come the Olympics, what is the main goal for these other countries, Lou? It's to beat America. To beat USA. We're the best basketball country in the world. We always have been. I think we always will be. That is where I think that level of competitiveness, that competitive nature, that pride will come in. And yeah, it is different countries, combining, and it's different countries coming together, but it's also still for the same goal, and that's to beat USA. So I like this a lot. Again, I think in the season and where you're going to play and who can play, who's competing for a championship for their NBA teams, respectively, there's definitely a lot of logistical things to work out. But I would rather play, if I was going to be an All-Star game, I'd rather play against a guy for the world team instead of, the Eastern Conference NBA team. Like, that would mean more to me, even as an American. So listen, I like it. Obviously, there's some things you got to work out, but we're on to something here to make All-Star Weekend at least fun, exciting to watch.
I like the conversation.
I mean, been talking about this for years. I hope we're not pretending this is new. Adam Silver, by the way, did go look. One of the things that he referenced when he has talked about this is the simple math, right? Like, there are things that you'd have to take into consideration, and he broke it down that 30% of the league right now is international. So obviously that sort of weighs heavily in favor of a more stacked international team, because you got to figure out the math on that. But these are all fixable problems. I'd like to say. If we were to do this, let's just say we start it this weekend. The 12-man rosters for the two teams are pretty legitimate. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of loving this. I'm loving this.
When you look at it on paper, I swear the world might be a favorite. Look at.
Of course it is.
I disagree,
SGA,
but it's like no.
Luka, Jokic. Honest, if you rank the top players in the NBA right now, they have the top 4.
But they'll get their ass whooped as soon as they go to their bench. Let's be real.
That's true.
Like,
why would they go to their bench?
The moment they go to their bench, they're getting whooped. I mean, listen, you got guys on the world team that can't make the real team. And so for that puts them at a disadvantage. I'll even go this far. Joel Embiid, put him on the other side. He should be on the world.
Stop.
What?
No, we don't want him. We don't want him on the world.
Not from Cameroon? Is Joel Embiid?
No, he's American now. He's a U.S. citizen, so you get to keep him on your side. I got my side covered. Thank you very much.
Joel Embiid is a pride Cameroonian. I hope I said that right. I don't want to disrespect anybody in their culture.
No, he's not. He's not, because he played for Team USA and got U.S. citizenship. So that pride went out the window.
And it started a storm in his home country. And mind you what I said, his home country, which is not the USA.
He's not even on the team this year. Why would he be on the team? There are a few guys on the U.S. team.
Joel Embiid went to high school.
Kristaps Porzingis is not on the team either this year.
And by the way, also, but he would be hurt. Let's not pretend like that's going to happen either. Like, we got to be realistic when we go down these rosters.
I love it. I love these rosters, but the world is very, very top heavy. And when I tell you top heavy, like Chandler just said, maybe 4 out of 5 of these guys are the top players in the league at this moment. But the rest of these guys are from 5 to 15 on the other side, the USA side.
You know how I know this will be a good idea? Because look how spicy we just got talking about who's going to win.
I'm so ready for this.
We're not going to do that this year with the 3 groups of 8. We didn't do this last year with East versus West.
Nope.
This is why I think it's a good idea, because you have that extra confidence, that extra respect, that extra pride when you're talking about your country. And I know there are different countries that are playing for the world, but my God, they will play hard against USA.
And
Chandler, you know what?
Just on the basketball side, it's only 3 ball handlers on the world team. So like they're bigs.
One.
They're all bigs. Nikola Jokic. I'll take Giannis off. I'll take Wembanyama off. Sabonis, Siakam, Sengun, Porzingis, Karl Anthony Towns, France, and Karl Anthony Towns is from the DR. That's almost America. Like,
no, it's not. It is not America.
That's a little.
It is not.
But they're all bigs.
The dude went to Kentucky and he lives in Hidden Hills, for God's sake.
But y'all want Joel Embiid to be American? What are we doing here?
He wanted to be American. We're not giving him citizenship. No, he wanted that. By the way, he not only wanted that, it was after he professed his love for France. So let's not get it twisted. Joel Embiid.
We want a lot of things. We want a lot of things. We want a lot of things. And yes, he was an Olympian. He did get a gold medal with the USA team. That confused me the whole time while he was even on the team. But he was, so I respect that part. But if this comes down to it, I'm going to be the first person to raise my hand in the technicality. He got to go that way. He got to go.
No, and by the way, once again, will not be healthy come All-Star time. So it's a moot point if we're talking about Joel Embiid. It ain't happening, regardless of what team you want to put.
Well, it's a few of these guys.
I love this.
It's a few of these guys that won't qualify, but you're going to have to fill out teams, and the world is going to have an issue finding 12 guys before the USA will.
Guys. I'm Team World. I can't tell you how much I want this to happen. More than anything, really.
You've made that
anything
clear.
In my whole life. I want this.
You know what the kids do say? Belt to ass. That's what the kids say.
B2A? I thought it was something else.
Yeah, I learned B2A yesterday. I wasn't ready for that one.
My
Blue
point
and I
is,
are getting so cool.
Look at this debate that it's just an idea, and we're all jazzed up about it. It would be.
I love this so much.
Anything different than what we're doing right now, All-Star Weekend, would be a hit. Besides this new format they got going in a couple of weeks,
which we still, by the way, don't get, and probably won't get until it happens. As I'm watching it in live, I don't get it at all. By the way, so all of the major American sports leagues, it's kind of interesting, right? Because we're sitting here talking about the international product that is. But again, I don't want to besmirch or undervalue sort of. Baseball's obviously got a huge international flair. Hockey's always been a huge international product. Really, football's the only one that is pretty much North American. So where do you guys rank the NBA as far as the other leagues and sort of what they can do on the global stage? Chandler.
Well, it's NFL is 1 for America, and then I think
That's all.
NBA is 2.
That's all.
Yeah, then NBA I think would be 2. I think when you look across the board, MLB is the South America, the Latin team that they're about to put together might be the best team ever that the world is going to put together for the MLB. Obviously, soccer, the American tennis is kind of making a push. We got like 4 or 5 guys in the top 15. But listen, like Lou said, the NBA, it's the greatest basketball in the world, and I think European and other countries they're definitely catching up. And when you look at that list, it's pretty glaring that, SGA, Luka, Giannis, Jokic, those 4 guys are the best 4 players in the NBA. And our American stars, we're in this weird shift right now where KD, Steph, LeBron, they're kind of on the way out. So we have this new group of stars, the Anthony Edwards, the Brunsons, the Devin Bookers, who are kind of these up and coming stars. So we have to see what they turn into. But they're definitely catching up. And you can see that in the Olympics, how these games are getting tighter and tighter. These spreads are getting smaller and smaller every time USA plays another country. So I think it's great for the game. The basketball has become such a global sport. Even in Asia and Africa, you're everywhere, not just America. So I think it's awesome, but it does make for an interesting, format for All-Star Weekend.
God, I wish it was happening.